We're going to move into a big one very, very early. Let's go. Let's hot up the thing and let's talk about Arsenal versus Spurs. Remember, I vowed never to call these guys Tottenham HOT Spur. No, no more. Because man's not hot. You get it? Definitely not hot at all. You see the head-to-head record here between these two teams and just a visual for you to enjoy. So, last games, Burnley 0, Arsenal 1, Arsenal 3, AFC Wimbledon 0 in the EFL Cup, Spurs 0, Chelsea 3 in the Premier League, Wolves 2, Spurs 2, Spurs win on pens in the EFL Cup as well. So, both teams coming off of wins in the cup match, but in terms of the Premier League, Arsenal have been on the up, while Spurs have been on the down. Arsenal won their last 2 games. Spurs have lost their last 2 games, and these teams are big rivals. North London derby. This is a big weekend for the Arsenal fans and the Spurs fans. So whoever comes out winners on the day takes the spoils in terms of morale, momentum, and all that good stuff. So let's talk Arsenal versus Spurs. It will be at the Emirates. So if Arsenal are to continue their upward surge, they have to absolutely pick up a win here against Tottenham. What happened last season? Well, Arsenal did beat Tottenham at home 2-1, but they lost at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium 2-0. And the season before, they failed to beat Tottenham. And the season before that as well, they actually have been struggling against Tottenham Hotspur lately, you know. But we have a loss here in the quarterfinal of the EFL Cup back in 2018. But Arsenal did enjoy a big 4-2 win back in December 2018 as well. But overall, not a very good record against Spurs in their last 10 games dating back to 2017, where Arsenal have only won 3 times, and all those wins have positively came at home. At home, they do very well against Spurs. They did lose the EFL Cup match at home, but in terms of the Premier League, they have been pretty solid. Pretty solid. So, look, in terms of Arteta versus Nuno Espirito Santo, this is their 3rd game. Arsenal, Arteta with 1, and the same record goes for his record against Tottenham. 1 win and 2 losses. Nuno, 2 wins and a loss against Arteta, but 3 wins and 1 loss against Arsenal as a Wolves manager. This will be the first time as a Tottenham manager he's facing Arsenal. So first big derby for Nuno Espirito Santo. This should mean a lot to him, and he owed the fans a result here. He need a result, and not just a scrape over the finish line type of result. He need a resounding result. In terms of the all-time Premier League record, 58 matches between the two teams, 21 wins for Arsenal, 14 wins for Spurs, 23 games ending in draws. Arsenal home record is very, very good, where they have only lost twice against Tottenham Hotspur with 11 draws and 16 wins. So that is big. That is huge, man. That is huge. So look. As long as Arsenal continue to keep their head on and keep Granit Xhaka out the team, they'll be all right, in my opinion. Seriously. Let's see if Mikel Arteta could stick to this winning formula. You see what I mean? You've been doing things right. Even though the wins have been scrappy, let's see if Arsenal could keep the momentum going and actually pick up a home win, a well-needed home win here against Tottenham Hotspur, because they need to win this game. Arteta is still under pressure. Let's not forget that. He's not out of it. He's still under pressure. He needs a big win. As for Nuno and Spurs, they need a win as well. 2 losses in their last 2 games. They're reeling in 7th place. Arsenal under up. They have to turn their fortunes around, and it will be most fitting for them to do so against their arch rivals, arch nemesis, Arsenal. Is it going to happen? is it going to happen? I have not been impressed with Tottenham this season. Despite them picking up 3 wins, I have not been impressed. Harry Kane, he has not been scoring. You see what I'm saying? This has to be a cause for worry for Tottenham. It has to be. Because if you check his stats this season, he has played 7 games and he has 3 goals, right? No assists. But 2 of those goals came in the Europa Conference League qualifiers and 1 in the cup match against Wolves. 4 Premier League matches, no goals. But someone did say back in, I think, 2016 when he failed to pick up any goals in his first 4 games, he did still go on to win the Golden Boot. So let's see. Let us see. But look, lately I've labeled Tottenham as the team where players go to basically for their careers to wither, dry up, stagnate, or die. And I mean it. I mean it. I'm not going to get too deep into that whole statement, but I do mean it, because if you check the players, that's exactly what's happening to them. Stagnation. Freaking nation. But look, Arsenal are doing some positive things. They brought in new players. Spurs have brought in a lot of new players as well. But I really like what Aaron Ramsdale have done so far. You see what I mean? The relegation king, Aaron Ramsdale, has now become the #1 goalkeeper for Arsenal. And he's been doing well. I like what Takehiro Tomiyasu has done so far. The Japanese international has looked good. Odegaard with that goal in the last game. Aubameyang's not playing too badly. And it seems like the morale is on the up over at the Emirates. Well, for Tottenham, listen, man. Listen. They need to win a trophy. How are you going to participate every season, spend money, build a new stadium, and still nothing to show to the fans? You see what I'm saying? Yesterday, I actually bumped into the channel We Are Tottenham TV. And I'm like, look at these guys, man. Look at these guys going on with the fanfare, you know what I'm saying? Look at them. Ho, ho. Bam, bam. What do you have to show for it? How do you feel? Every season you're talking about your team and you can't win a trophy when you're expected to be up there competing with the big guns and the big boys. You see what I'm saying? It's appalling. It is appalling. Arsenal do have a great history in terms of winning things, but yeah, them and Tottenham Hotspur in a similar situation these days, if you ask me. So, look, just to touch on some insight for this game. Arsenal beat Spurs 2-1 in this exact fixture in March. They've not won consecutive league games against Tottenham since doing the double over their rivals in the 2013-14 campaign. Tottenham have won just one of their last 28 away league games against Arsenal, drawing 11 and losing 16, coming from behind to win 3-2 in November of 2010. Since consecutive 0-0 draws at Highbury in the 97-98 and the 98-99 season, Arsenal have scored at least once in each of their last 22 league home games against Spurs. After losing their first 3 league games by an aggregate of 9-0 this season, Arsenal have won both their last 2 by a 1-0 scoreline. They last won 3 in a row without conceding in July of 2020, while they had 3 consecutive 1-0 victories in August of 2008. And the last one I have for you, after winning their first 3 league games, all 1-0 this season, Tottenham have lost 3-0 in both of their last 2, with both matches being London derbies. Spurs have never lost 3 consecutive league games by a 3+ goals margin in their entire history. Well, I don't expect this one to end 3-0 in favor of any of these teams, and hence the reason why for this game, I'm going to go level at a 1-1 draw. I think both teams are going to cancel each other out, and the game is going to end in a draw, which will be a very respectable scoreline for both teams, especially Arsenal. But Tottenham will be happy with that to just stop the leaking as well. seeing that they have lost their last 2 games by a 3-0 margin, and they were all London derbies. This is another London derby, and I could see it ending a draw. If any team managed to win it, come on, it will be big. It's a derby. Arsenal versus Tottenham, one of the biggest derbies in the English Premier League. So it'll be big to actually win it. I would love if Arsenal wins it, but I'm going to play it fair. I'm going to be objective and say a 1-1 draw.